and welcome back to AWS On Air live from reInvent 2022 at the Venetian. I'm Steve Roberts, developer advocate for .NET and PowerShell, and I'm joined again by my co-host, Jeff.
Sorry, your shirt was kind of giving me a little headache. Yeah, I'm better now. Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Marushak. I am a senior solutions architect with our DoD Air Force team, and I am really happy to introduce our guest, Myra. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so thank you first of all for having me. I'm Myra Roldan. I'm a senior technical program manager with AWS Machine Learning University.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's dive right in.
Okay.
Please tell us, what does Machine Learning University, the educator enablement program, consist of? It's quite a mouthful.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about this program because we've been working really hard on it. So right now we are focusing on democratizing AI ML and bringing it to community colleges, historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and minority-serving institutions, MSIs. So these are institutions that serve predominantly underserved populations and student groups. So we're looking to help those institutions build either courses or certificates or degree programs that they can offer to their students so we can build new talent pipelines in AI ML and data.
Yeah, I think that's super important because you probably get this as well, Steve. People ask us, I have a teenager and they don't know what to do. What's the new thing? Do we want to be a developer? He doesn't like it used to be go buy a 3D printer. That was like 5 years ago, but now it's learn machine learning. So I think a university around this is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we've had some good traction with this and a lot of interest. We had our launch yesterday during Swami's keynote, and we had an interest form, and we already have educators who are really looking for the resources that we're offering.
Yeah, so what kind of services or products does AWS Machine Learning University leverage?
Yeah, so right now what we're doing is we're focusing on enabling educators, so that's our customer, our target customer. So what we have is we have educator training, and we're leveraging tools like SageMaker Studio Labs, where educators can currently find our content that is open to the public. We also are leveraging AWS Academy, which services, I think something like 14,000, I may get that number wrong, but institutions globally. And so we're working with them to get some courses onto their platform also, because there's a large number of educators there also. And through Academy, they get access to the AWS Management Console. Yeah, so they can build.
I would say, if our viewers, if there are any computer lab teachers or statistics teachers in high schools looking for the next thing, reach out, because you'll be able to bring a machine learning class to your school. Will be very valuable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So can we talk briefly about why are AWS doing this?
Why are we doing this? So we have worked with Houston Community College, who was actually one of their educators who reached out to us. His name is Dr. Brown, Dr. George Raymond Brown. We call him Doc Brown, like Back to the Future. He fits the profile. Yeah, he fits the profile. So he reached out to us because he was using our free content that is on GitHub to build out courses and needed some guidance. And that's where this whole program kind of spawned from, was from a customer who reached out to us. And so we learned very quickly that community colleges are underfunded, underserved, underrepresented, and that also extends to HBCUs and MSIs, where they struggle to get the resources and don't have faculty that are trained or versed in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And so that's basically why we're doing it, because we want to increase that pipeline. And we quickly figured out, as we were trying to figure out who's our core customer, we figured out that we needed to start with the educators, because you need to have educators prepared to be able to teach.
They're the front line.
Yeah, they're the front line.
Yeah, I love the way this is going. I mean, I can remember the launch of SageMaker, reInvent a few years ago, where it's like, okay, we're going to start democratizing machine learning, right, by giving people the tools that you don't necessarily need the machine learning experience.
I will never be a data scientist.
No, neither will I.
But I can train and deploy a model now.
Right, yeah. And now we're moving the next step of train the educators, give them the tools and the programs and go from there. So I really like that.
So you talked a lot about diversity. Why is increasing the diversity in AI ML so important to AWS?
Yeah, so if you think about here at reInvent, we had some launches and discussions around responsible AI. There have been a lot of sessions around it.
It's a hot topic.
Yeah, it's a hot topic, right? And so a lot of what responsible AI really has to do with is also having these diverse perspectives and diverse populations that actually help to train the models. And so we want to make sure that we democratize AI ML and make it accessible to larger populations, especially populations that didn't think they had access, right? Because it's always about perception. Like, it seems like it's too high of a bar for me to reach. And so we look at it from like an equity versus equality standpoint, right? So equity is about fairness. So making the same opportunities available to everyone, knowing that they're going to need some different levels. Like, it's not one size fits all, where equality is about sameness. And so when you provide everyone equal opportunity, you're saying that everyone has the same needs and they can be successful with the same tools and opportunities, right? And with equity, what we're saying is that no, we need to make sure that we meet them where they are so we can provide that support that they need along the way. So I think that's really important, and that's what we're really focusing on.
Cool, so let's talk about the educators themselves. What's their experience being with the MLU?
Yeah, so the educator experience right now is the boot camps. So we have these educator boot camps that we offer. They're 2 weeks intensive, offered in the evenings and on Saturday. When I say it's intensive, it's because it is. 2 weeks is a lot. And it's, I think it's like 3.5 hours, 4 days a week, and then full day Saturdays for 2 Saturdays. That's a commitment.
That is,
right?
that is a commitment, yes.
That's a commitment, and we acknowledge that. And then we're going to be hosting monthly educator professional development, so like webinars, tech talks, chalk talks, and any kind of other information that we can share with them to help them build their programs of study and also their knowledge, right? We're also going to have opportunities for them to share with each other through a community of practice.
So this isn't like a one-shot thing. You attend something and you go away and do this. This is like almost a continual learning program for educators as well, a resource program.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the front lines, the educators, but with your program, who else are you envisioning, hoping, or can participate besides the educators?
So right now we are just limiting it to the educators at these higher education institutions because we want to make sure that we are focused. So we are really trying to focus our efforts where their need is. And so we want to make sure that we are enabling educators at institutions that don't normally get the resources that traditional like tier 1 and R1 universities get, who get endowments and they get grants and all this other stuff, where with community colleges and HBCUs, they don't get the same access, again, like the equity, right?
Yep.
They don't get the same access to opportunity, funding, resources, and so we're trying to close that gap.
Okay, cool. So I heard you had a pre-launch.
Yes.
How did that go? How was that received?
Yeah, so our pre-launch it was great. So in August, we launched our first Educator ML Bootcamp. It was intensive, and it coincided with the start of the school year, the fall school year. So
Just
it
add
was
to the
like
pressure.
smack at the very start of it. And we had 25 educators that really committed to participating for the evenings and the 2 Saturdays as they're also like starting the school year. They successfully completed the boot camp, and it was 25 educators from 22 community colleges and universities in the US. We collaborated with the coding school on the launch of that boot camp, and that's how we were able to stand it up very quickly. The coding school has been a great partner for us. We also created an educator advisory board, because our kind of motto is like, what you do for them, without them, you do to them. So we want to make sure that we have those educator voices and that guidance and advice directly from the educators, so we can learn about their processes and what it takes to build a program. and that's really important for us. We also are able now to offer continuing education credits for any professional development that educators complete with Machine Learning University, which is huge because educators do have a minimum like professional development credit they need to keep every year. So now we can issue those credits, which is another huge win for us.
How has it been received by the educators? What kinds of feedback have we got?
So educators who went through the boot camp, I know at the end of the boot camp I started getting emails from educators telling me how great it was and the fact that they got access to free professional development from Machine Learning University and AWS was a huge win for them, and the fact that they're going to be getting access to content that Machine Learning University uses internally to train our engineers. They'll get access to that same content to be able to train their students.
Well, it's safe to say they understand how valuable this new knowledge is.
Yeah.
Because they're wanting to share it with their students.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned a tough boot camp. But I guarantee you there's educators out there that's not deterring. And they're like, this is something that's important. How can an educator who's hearing about this for the first time on our show, the people I just talked to and our viewers, who want to get involved, where do they go to get involved?
Yeah, so let me pull up a web page. Let's see if it'll load. So yesterday, during our initial launch, we launched our landing page for Machine Learning University. There is an educator sign up on the page, and educators can get information about the program on this page, along with benefits of the program. And we have this educator spotlight that I would love to share because Houston Community College, that's where Doc Brown is from.
Yep.
And he's a pioneer. He and his wife, Diane, are pioneers in this whole idea of bringing AI ML to community colleges. So they launched a AI ML associate's degree. They had their first graduates this past...
we have an associate's degree already for this?
Yeah,
wow.
Built on MLU content. Using MLU content that we have available on GitHub. They just took it and ran with it. Right. They also just got approved to offer a bachelor's in AI ML, and they are one of the first community colleges to offer a bachelor's degree. That's like huge when you think about the impact of that for students to be able to go to a community college and get a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
because I can imagine a student, because this is me, like maybe you don't want to be a developer, so maybe computer science is a little bit too computer science for you. You're good at math, but you don't like statistics classes. So right in between there, you have machine learning because you're going to be doing a lot of statistics, some computer work. I think that'd be great. I mean, I was an economics minor for the sole reason that it was the one minor that only required 4 classes. I would have loved to have been an AI ML minor, but that's just
you
my
still
story.
can.
Yeah, you could still do
Let's
it.
go, me and you.
Yeah, you can go to Houston Community College with Doc Brown. He'll get you trained up.
Well, I saw in your notes was there a community college in Ohio? I'm from Cleveland.
Oh yeah. So we are going. So we have. We're working with systems. Mm-hmm. So we're working with community colleges in California, Texas, Florida, Ohio, and Maryland. So community colleges and HBCUs and MSIs.
Great.
So we are, we're onboarding some community colleges in Ohio.
So you weren't
no
that that far off. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah,
so
you have no excuse, dude. Next time we meet up, I expect you to got your degree.
Yeah. Another one won't hurt.
Another one won't hurt. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. This is awesome. So, anything you want to leave our viewers with before we depart the stage?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, I would love if you're an educator, visit our landing page.
Yeah.
You can find it at aws.amazon.com/machine-learning/educators. And on that page, there's a sign-up form. You can register on that sign-up form to receive notifications and information about upcoming boot camps, about resources that we're going to be making available, and about any kind of professional development that we're going to offer anytime soon. We are going to be offering Machine Learning University courses on AWS Academy beginning spring of 2023, so that content will be available there, and it will be available on SageMaker Studio Labs and GitHub, but they unlock some additional educator resources on Academy. which is, so if you're not an AWS Academy member, you can go register, it's free. Our services are offered free of charge also. Okay. I forgot to mention that.
Well, that's great.
So
yeah,
all of this is free, and even the boot camps that we're offering are free, and educators get stipends when they complete our boot camps, as well as the continuing education credits, which is invaluable for a lot of educators.
Yeah, I can so see, and sorry, I'm sticking with the bachelor's degree talk, because think about it. You can have a geologist who knows how to code. So a geologist can get a computer science degree, but use that with searching for rocks. But every industry is going to be using AI ML. So if you major in that, even if your interest is really somewhere else, you're going to be able to utilize that. And I think that's an important thing. So I think it's very important to get this out into the colleges.
Yeah, definitely, especially the community colleges, because when you think about professional certificates, like those non-credit certificates that people get that aren't like a certification, they go to community colleges. And so that's what where we're going to start is with those certificate programs first, so they'll be able to offer it to a broader range of people, including professionals who already have degrees.
Yeah. Well, great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this sounds awesome. I'm excited. You can tell I'm excited about it.
He's actually, this is the most excited I've seen him all day.
So when I come back next year, you'll have your certificate in ML, right?
Yeah, I'll try.
AI ML.
I'll try. As long as he doesn't have that shirt.
What's wrong with this shirt? This shirt is awesome, dude. Anyway, thank you so much, Myra, for joining us today.
Yeah,
This is a
thank
fantastic program. Thanks for teaching us about the program. This is great. Stay tuned. We will be right back with AWS On Air very shortly.